Really loved that intro of the Hisense. But could you please tell me, what do I get in the box? In the box, we get, which is maybe rare to see these days, a charger, which is 18 watts in this case, a USB-A to USB-C cable, some 3.5mm earphones, the quick start guide, warranty booklets, a TPU cover, not forgetting a screen protector, and the SIM ejector pin. And the main character, the Sizeable H50 Infinity itself. You know, Z, I'm still a bit old school and I love my wired earphones. Does this scarce 3.5mm headphone jack still exist? The Hisense not only does it come with a function key, but it rarely comes with a charger and a 3.5mm headphone jack at the bottom. Next to that, the microphone. Next to that, the 18 watts fast charge USB-C port. The loudspeaker next to that. Coming to the side, the right side of the phone, we get a fingerprint scanner which doubles up as a power button. And this fingerprint scanner is extremely responsive. Let's take a quick look at this. Let's test this out. Lock, unlock, lock and unlock. As you can see, extremely responsive. Above that, the volume button. Coming to the top of the phone, we get the second noise cancelling microphone. Coming to the left of the phone, we have the SIM card tray and the micro SD slot. Let's have a look at this. As you can see, one SIM is blocked off for the dual SIM feature. We get one SIM and one memory card expansion. So it all depends where you get your device. And the back of the phone, we have the Hisense branding and the quad camera setup. Coming to the back of the device, we get a full plastic build. As you can see, it's a very shiny, slippery kind of a fingerprint magnet material. It's fully plastic build. All this held together by a plastic frame. So let's get our trusted scale. The Hisense H50 Infinity. 208 grams of this mighty device. At the front, we get an unspecified glass covering the screen. Then we get the same glass that's covering the front 32 megapixel camera. At the back, on the cameras, we also get some unspecified glass that's covering the cameras. See, displays to me make a really huge difference. As a user, I want something pleasing to my eyes. So what can you tell me about the H50's display? Well, that's true. The display on a phone these days is one of the most important factors when buying a new device, as we literally do everything on our phones. Hisense has only now introduced the OLED technology on the newer H60 lineup. Up until the H50, we get the usual IPS display. On this device, we get a whole 6.81 inch of this IPS LCD with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 with a pixel density of 395 ppi, 60 Hz that is, and a Mali G76 GPU. All this means is we get in a colorful Full HD Plus 6.81 inch display with the support for HDR10. It has decent minimum and good maximum brightness for outdoor usage. It's bright enough and should get the job done. Viewing angles are pretty good. No hassles from any angle of using this device. The massive 6.81 inch O Infinity display, as Hisense calls it, ensures great streaming, media and social content. So many of us love our music. We don't always appreciate the quality of what we listen to, unless we hear something that doesn't sound too pleasing to our ears. Is the H50 any good in the audio category? Well, that's a great question. All I can say is it gets loud. It does distort at high volumes, but lowering the volume does make it sound much better. The highs are okay, the vocals are decent, the lows are not very low. Overall, it's a decent speaker. It will get the job done. Now coming back to me loving photography, can I ditch carrying my DSLR and solely use the H50? Well, I highly doubt that. The H50 throws at us a 4 rear camera setup, a 64 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel wide angle camera, a 2 megapixel depth camera, and a 2 megapixel macro camera, not forgetting the LED flash. With video capable of shooting at 720p, 1080p and 4K, Hisense does not give any option to change the frame rates of any of these desired settings. In the camera department, it's okay, it will get the job done. It does lack some detail however. It lacks that punchiness and those highlights that you're looking for. But it's a decent camera. The video doesn't have any optical stabilization. Under the software section, it does have an option of image stabilization, which doesn't help much. Does however advertise an 108 megapixel camera. The 2 megapixel macro camera gets close and has decent detail, but it's a 2 megapixel. It's a handy feature and does the job. An 8 megapixel and an infrared camera for those standout portraits with a single LED flash. Boasting a 32 megapixel selfie shooter, which is capable of recording 720p and 1080p with portrait mode included. Does a good job. The overall camera app is like we see on all other Hisense devices. Simple, clean, and all the features that we need, which is easy to use. The 32 megapixel front shooter is also used as a face unlock, which is fast and snappy and most of the time under good lighting reliable. Coming to the most important factor, well, two actually, the processor and the speed, and the battery and its usage. How does this device flare up in this department? Well, the brain in this big boy is a MediaTek Helio G90 series. Paired with 6GB of RAM, DDR4 that is, 128GB of storage, one thing I can testify to: the speed and performance of this device is proof of what a well-optimized device performs like. The G90, a 12nm chip, is a speedster in the H50. Takes on any app. This actually outshined flagship level phones in app opening tests. The games are smooth as can be. Performance for any of your tasks with ease. Really surprised my expectations. And powering all this is a 5000 mAh battery. And again, some serious performance. Getting a minimum of 8 to 10 hours of screen on time. And once you manage to drain it, it comes with the 18-watt fast charger in the box, getting you back to 100% in about 150 minutes. Wow, so far very informative. Lastly, the software out of the box. Out of the box, Android 11, with the access of all Google services. One downfall of Hisense is that this software isn't upgradable, so you have Android 11 and it's gonna stay at Android 11. That's quite disappointing. On top of Android 11 is a skin by Hisense called Vision 8. Clean, fast, smooth, with Hisense Intelligent Assist, includes motion and gestures, screenshots and record, amongst other useful tweaks. Unbelievable. Really cannot believe the performance that the Hisense stood up against the P40, which is just a few-year-old flagship phone by Huawei. It's just a comparison to show you what an well-optimized device can perform like. Well, thank you guys so much for all your support. Please let me know in the comment section what you think of the Hisense H50 and what you think of this style of review. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of the Hisense H50 Infinity. Well, I really did. Till the next time, stay safe.